All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Don't bring your last boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife into your relationship.
Yes.
Because you're
Don't
going to
use
bring
it as a recipe book. Just use it as a reference.
Because you're going to make a crap cake.
And
then
right.
wonder why she leave me.
Yep, learn from it. Learn from it.
I ain't did nothing wrong. But on that note, because I know it's getting late. Why are we still here, girl? I'm gonna pass it on to my sister. She's good. She's a good woman. You know, I always tell her how much I love her. She couldn't stand me when we were younger, but that, you know, we grew past
I love
that.
my brother. Don't believe that. I love my brother. I fought for my brother.
Yes.
I ain't like them other girls too much, but I love my brother.
Yeah. But go on, Chocolate Pearl. Take it over.
Okay, so we kind of answered a lot of the we answered a lot today, and some of it has something to do with my question. So y'all may have to wind up repeating it in a sense. But do y'all know when you are out there looking for that perfect mate or looking for that mate or that soulmate, you have this list, you know, that how your perfect mate is. Do you think by going by that list completely is good, or are you willing to adjust that list? Because I know when people go there, I want tall, dark, and handsome, and I want him to have, you know, this 12-figure, I'm exaggerating, 12-figure, you know, salary, and I want him to have a house, and I want him to have a car, and no children, and never been married or been married, you know. Do you think that list is what you really need, or is it a guideline of what you can look forward to in a relationship, and is it necessary? Answer.
I would say it's definitely a guideline, not a must-have. So having this list, this checklist of things that you desire, that you turn into requirements, is a recipe for failure, because no one gets everything they want. That's one of the lessons that you learn as an adult. Growing up to become an adult, you learn that you can't always have what you want in life. So having that list is a guide, should be used as a guideline, not a must-have. And I posted something today in the group, in the Upscale Love group, with 2 women talking about how do Black women feel about relationships nowadays. It was very informative, and I think it was very constructive. And one of the things they said in that conversation is that the therapist, she said that a lot of times she thinks that women need to learn how to adjust this list that you speak of, that they have, and realize that not all those things are obtainable.
Right.
Like, for example, she gave an example of, yeah, you say you want a 6 foot tall man, but he's 5'10", or he's 5'9". Like, does that really change who he is as a person? No, it doesn't. But a lot of women get caught up on those little particulars and completely pass up someone that might be good for them.
Right. Right. Good. Tracy?
Yeah, so not all women have lists that are stature, car, career. Not all women have that list. So I would say the list I'm thinking of for me, that's must-haves. I'm not going to forgo those, because those are on my list are some of the things that would also would have answered Dr. Feelsogood's question. So I'm not going to forgo someone not holding themselves accountable. So I'm looking for a man that holds himself accountable. I'm looking for a man that also holds me accountable. So accountability would totally be on my list. Another one is my favorite word that I always use on the show is authenticity. That's on my list. I'm not going to go for someone that's not his authentic true self, because it takes more work to try to fake a Tracy than to really be Tracy. So my list is more of traits that are innate and that can't be trained. And so on my list, I'm not going to forgo integrity. I'm not going to forgo integrity,
Right.
and things like that. So my list is a little bit different.
I mean, I love your list because it's not superficial. It's not about what someone
Exactly.
has, you
Yeah.
know, financially or you know, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think. It's not
Tangible.
things. You're
Tangible.
actually talking about that personality. And I
Exactly.
like your
And then
list. Now, to
when
me, that list is I think everybody should have that particular
Right.
list. Everybody
Right.
should have that, for males or females, that particular list, because that's a type of personality trait that I think everybody should have in order to build a relationship.
Yeah, and
Like
just
you
to
said,
add
the
on that,
authenticity, you know, it should be there. You should not be fake, because
right.
because once you're fake, guess what? The real you's going to eventually come out, because that
Hello.
fakeness is going to fade away.
And a big one for me, and a lot of people say this, oh my gosh, a woman that makes a lot of money is not going to date a broke dude. I'm like, no, because I would date a guy that made less than me. That's not
because
they
have potential to make more money.
As long as he has drive, and drive is
Right,
another thing
right.
that's on my list. So that sort of thing. So my list is
Right.
not negotiable. So there
Right.
we go.
Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Dr. Feels So Good.
Well, I have the thing about lists. I said, I'm careful when making lists, because you can put a ton of things on a list and have somebody meet all those things and they're still not who you want.
That's a good one.
So I look at it as, are they a good person? Do they, simple things, do they treat wait staff bad? Because you've been around people, do they talk in the movies? Now, I know those aren't big things, and I know us being melanated, we kind of like to run our mouths during the movies, but don't take me to a movie that you want to see and you're talking all through it.
Consideration.
So things like that, as you get older, you just want peace.
Right.
Yep.
You want somebody who enhances your peace, not disturbs your peace. You want somebody that can rock with you, not throw rocks at you.
Exactly.
And a list, it's always, a list should be a guideline, and that's it, because everybody in here over 30. So saying that, we have to be able to adjust on some things. Right. And I'll even use the word compromise in this case, because sometimes you got to break something in order to get it, because you got to break eggs to make an omelet, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm cracking the integrity of that egg to make something that's more useful to me, and that's how I got to think when you're building lists, because as Ansa said, you ain't gonna find 100% of everybody. Right now 70% is good. She ain't got to swing off chandeliers, but she ain't got to run a marathon. Look, I got a gut. I'm fixing it, but I got a gut. So I can't expect her to be Miss America.
All right.
Because I ain't Mr. Olympia.
That's right.
Now 30 years ago, when I was a handsome, fine, sexy piece of leather, I could say that. But
you were a string bean.
Yeah, I'm older, I'm fatter, and a little slower. But the idea is that I'm liking people more for them, and not necessarily for what they can do for me.
Yeah, right.
That's all I got.
All right, Miss Millie.
I think that we have to break the generational curse, because a lot of things that we're wanting, we're wanting things that our parents, our cousins, aunts, big mama, whoever had in a man. Possibly the man go to work, come home, take care of all the bills, took care of the family, made sure everything was okay. We're in a different time. First of all, we have to know that there's no perfect person besides God. And once we realize that, yes, integrity, all the like Trace was saying, the finer things, certain things, there's no negotiation on, because person have to be who they are. You can't be nobody else. I could be Millie better than anybody on this platform. Nobody else can't be Millie. I can't be Chocolate Pearl, Dr. Fabulous. Everybody is unique in their own way. It's gonna be what are you willing to adjust to, accept, etc. Now, yeah, 6 foot tall, that's nice. But he might be 6 foot tall and a dog. She may be fine as a Coke bottle and a street girl. So you have
street
to know,
girl.
or the garden tool, not the rake.
Okay.
304. Think of old beeper code. 304. Flip it upside down.
So make sure that when we have our referral lists, that you can live up to that referral list yourself. Because something you put on that list and you might not be. Or we might not be. Let's say we, not just point the finger. It's vice versa. So make sure that what you're asking for, that you can come through with too.
That's true. I think lists, to me, I truly love how Tracy had, determined what she's not willing to compromise or adjust. And I like how what Anson said, that it's a guideline. But you're right, Miss Millie. Do you have a list for yourself? Do you have a list of, am I this? Have I accomplished this? Have I done this? And where is my integrity? Where is my goals in life? Have I accomplished any of that? Do you have your own personal list to be for someone else? So for you to sit there and to count off, oh, he, I don't like the way he dresses. Well, if you get together with him, you might can adjust it. I know when I was married, I couldn't stand my ex. He had this Cosby sweater collection.
Pudding pops.
And it drove me crazy because they were ugly. They weren't even the good looking sweaters. They were ugly sweaters. But we learned, and Andre, I'm gonna say this, we learned to compromise with each other. I couldn't throw anything away unless I replaced it first. So I would slowly go out and buy something and bring it into the house. This is new, I get to remove. So slowly I was able to adjust his wardrobe. So it's things that, you're willing to do, but you need to look at yourself first. I think self-love, self-care, and self-understanding is a big key. In order for you to love someone else, you have to love yourself, and not just love you because you think you're fine and all that other stuff. Do you love everything about yourself? There's some things I don't like about myself, and I am adjusting it. So it's going to take time. So it's not checked off that list, So have you thought about that, Tracy?
No, and I absolutely love what you said. And then for the people that do have sort of the superficial materialistic list, a part of both of our roles, men and women, is to uplift one another. It's that partnership. So if a man, because my ex was like this, he didn't have his degree and I did. So I helped him pay for college, and now he has more degrees than I do. He always made less than me. Who cares? And so just when you're looking at that list, say, what part can we do together? If I'm really digging, dude, what part can we do together? And then your list will probably shrink. So
how can I push you to another level?
That's exactly, you said it better than me. Part of our role is to push each other. Thank you, Ms. Mill.
Right. I believe that. I think, we grew up, the man is supposed to be the head and he's supposed to be able to take care of the house and do this and do that. But today's society is a joint venture, it's a joint job that we have to do it together. We have to push each other. I did say in a show before that I was the neck and he's the head, but I still feel that we are both can be the neck and the head after that conversation. I thought about it. We both could be the head and the neck, supporting each other. On me, he can be the neck and I'm the head. On him, I could be the neck and he's the head. But we're doing it together. We're doing it as a joint venture to build each other up. That conversation, like I said, I watched the show and thought about that, Tracy. That we have to learn to adjust and come together. But I still think that we need to support each other. Anson?
Yeah, I want to reiterate what I said earlier, that it should be a guideline and not something that you live by, as far as having a list for whoever you're choosing to be with, right? But I will say this. I think everyone, man and woman alike, should have a must-have list that they do not compromise with. And I have my own. I have a must-have list. I have 5 things that I must have, and if this woman cannot live up to those 5 things, then I will die alone happily.
What are the 5 things?
I was going to say the same thing. I need to know your 5 things.
5 things is really simple. 1 is that she has to be attractive. Like, I have to be attracted to her no matter where she is at, no matter what state she's in.
So she doesn't have to be like superstar or model attractive. She just has to be attractive to you.
Yes. What I mean by attractive is you can have eye boogers, drool coming from your lips. I want to be able to look at
Still able to say, oh, baby, you look good with them boogers hanging out your nose.
Right. You got them eye boogers hanging just right.
Now that's true love right there. That's true love.
That's a must
Y'all
have.
think it's crazy,
But that's also very relative. I mean, it's a good thing, but based on what you said before, I mean, it's a guideline, because attractive to you and
may not be attractive to someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
Y'all read? I don't want to cut you off, Anson, but when you said that, it kind of reminded me of A Different World, when Whitley was married to Dwayne, and every morning she would get up before him and go brush her teeth and spray her face and even put a little makeup on, and then go back into bed and act like she was still asleep, so she would look beautiful. And that wasn't what he was attracted to. He wanted her to be natural. He loved her no matter what she looked like, but she didn't do that. She always had to make sure she was perfect when he, in his eyes. But that really wasn't the perfect thing for him. So I'm sorry. I just felt I needed to say that. But go ahead, girl.
Understandable. 1, she has to be attractive at all times. I don't care where she is.
How you gonna be attractive all the time now?
All the time. That means I like looking at you.
Yeah, to him. He's saying to him. He's not saying to anybody else.
Right.
He's saying to him. He just said if she has boogers in her eyes and her hair ain't done, but she still looks beautiful to him. That's what he's talking about.
Look, I had an ex. I went with her one time to her sister's house, and she went to go get her hair done, and she looked like Julio. Damn it, half her head was out like this, and the other half was nicely braided. She was the sexiest I ever seen her.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, like, all her clothes could have been ripped to shreds. I would have bought some more the next day. But number 1,
Gonna say a word.
has to be attractive at all times. 2, she has to want me at all times. I don't want no one that don't want me.
Yes.
Even when they upset with you, she still wants you, right?
Even if we arguing, I need to know in her mind, like, I can't stand him. I hate his guts, but that's my man though. Like, I need to rest assured that that's going on in her head.
Right.
Number 3, sex is a must. My body is still works. So
but what if her body doesn't work anymore? You gonna let her go?
I mean, it's a period of time before that happens. can't just come in a situation like that, you know.
Well,
But
I mean, use me for example. I just had major surgery, reconstruction, my whole front. Okay. What if I can't have sex?
For
then
6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks.
I can wait.
It's been 2 months and I will not completely heal for more than a year.
Well, I guess I have to wait if we end it like that.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. You talking about you have to have sex. I wanted to know if there was any, like, if it was a
But now
medical
there is
situation
alternative
with you
ways of
straight.
having sex.
You said what?
There's alternative ways
Oh
of
yeah,
having
it's
sex.
it's alternative, but I'm
Still
just
can
saying he's
please
saying that
him, and
she
he
has to
still
have
can.
sex, her body
Okay,
still works,
okay. Go ahead, answer.
Number 3, we have to be partners. There's
Partners.
nothing that we can't do together. We have to be partners, no matter what. And what I said attractive, sex all the time. She gotta want me. Partners. Oh yeah, and the most important thing, I refuse to deal with a selfish woman.
She can't
Never.
be selfish.
I will die alone happy if I have to deal with a selfish woman.
Okay.
So those 5 things are my must-haves. And if I
Don't let
can't
her
get
go
those,
nowhere else, you looking at Julio.
You have to have all 5 at the same time.
all 5 at the same time, there's no compromise. None.
You
Those
got her
5
wig
things
for
are must-have.
standby when that hair bad.
But all, but all those other things, anything else that can happen, unemployed, have a low-paying job, have children, like all those things are stuff that I can deal with.
So
But
one
those
thing
5 things gotta have.
One thing that you said when you said half her hair was braided and the other half was up, and you still say she looked like the best thing in the world.
Oh my God.
I had that happen to me. My hair is low.
Mhm.
And I get it done every 3 weeks. So it was the day before I got ready to get it done. And he looked at me and he said, "Your hair is toe up, but you still beautiful." I'm like, how are you gonna say that?
Didn't that make you feel
Yeah.
good? Oh yeah.
No.
I feel
It didn't make you feel good. Oh,
it
look.
does. It really
But the
does.
fact that he
Now,
still said I was beautiful,
Right.
even though I knew it was time to get this hair touched up and curved, dyed, and everything. But yeah, so I can relate to that to a certain degree.
yeah.
Look,
So
when
can
her
I,
hair-
with the surgery, I'm still insecure about how I look with no clothes on. And my friend said that, why are you worried about that? You still beautiful.
There
And
you go.
but to me, I look like Quasimodo. It's just to me.
You
But
are.
Okay.
for a man, but I'm speaking for
But to
men.
him, he doesn't see that,
Right. Speaking for
you
men,
know.
you gotta have those must-have things. I know I'm pretty sure women feel the same way, but as a man, I must say that you must have things in who you're with to make you to close the door on temptation. Because temptation is everywhere. And if you have someone, you have those things that are must-have within that one person, then when somebody fine come by and tempt you, then you gonna not want to step out. You're
Right.
not gonna want to ruin
Exactly.
what you have. And
That's
that's why
right.
I say that everyone should have these must-have things, no matter how many things there are. You just know that you putting them as your must-haves. So
Right.
you need to make them obtainable. And if they're not
like that.
obtainable, then you be prepared to be by yourself.
Miss Nikki,
Yes, ma'am.
what about you?
Um,
Think that the list is a guideline, or do you
oh,
feel
it's
that you
definitely
need
a
to
guideline.
follow it?
To me, it's definitely a guideline because if you try to stay on with a particular list, um, there's like 5% chance that you're gonna find someone that's gonna fulfill all that.
Right. I liked how you
But
said 5% chance.
yeah, 5% chance. Yeah. So for me, it's definitely a guideline.
Not
Okay.
impossible, but damn near.
And what about you, Char? I was just about to ask Heather, but she dropped off. What about you, Shar? Okay. Miss Dream, did we ask you?
The list, I don't believe in lists because, like I said, older, wiser. So it's definitely a guideline. I can't even think of. I don't have a superficial thing because I think when you do like superficial lists, I think I have more of a list like Tracy. You got to be honest. You have to be a good person. I think it's more like a character trait type of list. You have to be accountable for whatever. I don't have anything else because I just feel like all of those superficial lists sometimes like they might look like money and then turn out to be yuck. So I don't, yeah. I think that's for when you're younger. I think once you reach a certain level or you've lived a little bit, I save the list for my daughters. And I notice like, I feel like younger girls, maybe they're just so much smarter. Or maybe because they're my girls. I have no idea. But I feel like even them really, I know, trying to stuff, but I feel like I don't even see them coming with those type of superficial lists. So I feel like with growth, you know that you just try it, and hopefully I feel like you have to kind of be on the same wavelength with certain things. Like you don't want someone that's looking for a certain thing that you know you don't want. So that thing can be tricky. But I feel like other than that, you're gonna do hopefully the grow and learn and see how it works.
But to piggyback off what you just said, you have to go through things and experience different things to learn what you like and don't like, right? So that's why I feel like once you go through several situations, you must have a must-have list. Once you go through a certain amount of situations, you know
So do you
what
think that's only for men, or do you think that's for men and women?
men and women.
I think that's for men and women.
I think it's both ways.
I think that eventually, or at the end of the day, everybody has a list, whether it's superficial or whether it's personal, or someone has a list, because when you go out there, say for instance, you go to a club and you meet somebody, you have your list starts to check off as soon as y'all have that first communication. Hello, how are you? How they come up to you. Some guys may come, oh, sexy mama type thing. You be like, okay, you done that list. You have some type of mindset list. Like he said, you have to have certain things. You have lists that you don't realize you have. Right. You see what I'm saying? You do have lists. Oh no, he ugly. He done crossed off. Okay, you didn't make that. Or there was this one guy. I think I mentioned this a while back, but I go to this thing called R&B bingo not every Tuesday, but it happens every Tuesday. Love it. They play music, you drink, you eat, they have good food, good conversation, good people there sometimes, And it's like these three guys, they look like Rick Ross. Literally looks like Rick Ross, the bald head, the beard. And one guy literally tries to dress like him. Okay.
Oh God, no.
And he tried to come and have talk to me. And I'm a type of person. I'm Miss Millie.
Did he come with Wingstop? Did he bring you a bucket of Wingstop?
No, he couldn't even afford a bucket of Wingstop. Okay. He wants to communicate with me. I said, well, if you want to communicate with me, why didn't you offer me, a drink? Oh, I'm buying my homeboy a drink. I'm thinking, so you want to go home with your homeboy, or you want to get together with your homeboy? Just stuff like that. I literally had to no, that's a check off the list, because if you can't approach me in a proper way or engage with me in a proper way, those lists that you have, it's like, okay, no, he doesn't make the cut. He don't even get on the list. So everybody has, to say all this, everybody has some type of list whether it's superficial, whether it's integrity, whether it's, just something that you go by, you have some type of list. But regardless of that list, is it just a guideline or is it something that you stand on no matter what? And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Fabulous so she can close us out.
Well, thank you everyone for coming once again. The show was magnificent. And I would like to thank Anson once again for sending in questions to Upscale Love for You at gmail.com. And if you have a question that you would like to have answered, send it to us and we'll definitely respond. Also, I would like to thank each and every one of you who have gone over to YouTube, who have subscribed, liked, and shared, because we're getting our little numbers there. It's going up. Okay. And also October 29th, if you haven't gotten your tickets, please get your tickets and come out so that you can meet the crew and enjoy. And without any further ado, I'm going to ask Dr. Feelgood, do you have anything you would like to say?
My remarks are complete. Dr. Fabulous, back to you.
All right. Well, I'm going to say good night, everyone, and have a great evening. Smooches. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Night.